No one saw this coming. Tom Thibodeau just made a shocking decision for the New York Knicks that is very out of character for the Knicks head coach. Meanwhile, it is very good for the New York Knicks. It is absolutely the correct move. And also, we are about to see how the Knicks playoff rotation, specifically the bench, is going to fare and who is going to be getting the big minutes. And we're going to break all of this down. What's up, guys? Welcome back to Knicks Digest. It's Chris here, and we're going to jump right into things as always. And guys, if you're part of that 63.5% that's not subscribed to Knicks Digest, make sure to subscribe. We have multiple videos every single day. You guys do not want to miss out on all the great content we're coming out with. So make sure to subscribe if you're part of that 36%. Thank you. But let's jump into the video. We do have a lot to discuss as Tom Thibodeau made a move that nobody saw coming. We know how Tom Thibodeau operates. He likes big minutes. He wants to win every single game, whether it's the preseason, regular season, playoffs. Tibbs is always trying his best to win, and we know the starters get heavy minutes because of this, and many fans expected that to continue. However, now we're getting a sign that that might not be continuing, as Tom Thibodeau made a very bold choice that nobody expected out of him, and this was first mentioned to us by CP the franchise. Shout out CP, who said the Knicks may consider rest days for a few players over the last 3 games, telling everybody to stay tuned for it. So Tibbs considering making some considering resting some guys, making the choice to rest some players who do play massive roles with the New York Knicks. And when you think about those guys, you think about this Knicks rotation right now. I mean, the Knicks played the Boston Celtics, where they ended up playing a lot of heavy minutes to their starters, even though the bench played a normal amount, just because it did go into overtime and it was a rivalry game. The Knicks were playing with something to prove, and so were the Celtics, and this was a preview of the second round matchup that widely is expected and wanted by many NBA fans. Seeing OG Anunoby and Karl-Anthony Towns along with Josh Hart all going into the 40-plus minute range, and on top of that, seeing the bench also play, mainly just because when you look at it, the New York Knicks do still play their starters heavier minutes than most teams, as you could tell, based off the fact that the 2 leaders in minutes in Josh Hart and Mikal Bridges play the most minutes per game in the NBA. Josh Hart actually overtook Mikal based off last night's game against the Celtics, and now Josh plays the most minutes per game. Mikal Bridges still has the most games played, though, as he has not missed a game yet with just 3 games to go. So you look at these top guys. You look at Josh Hart, Mikal Bridges, OG Anunoby, Jalen Brunson, Karl-Anthony Towns, the starting 5, who all plays 35-plus minutes. And you figure, okay, well, these guys are going to be the guys to get rest. Are they going to miss games? Absolutely not Mikal. You know he takes pride in not missing a game. Is Jalen Brunson going to miss games? It's hard to imagine. I mean, when you consider Jalen Brunson and where he's at right now, it wouldn't make a ton of sense to just decide to bench Jalen Brunson for every game down the stretch for a few reasons. One of them is because Jalen Brunson does have to play 2 more of these 3 final games to be eligible for NBA awards. Tom Thibodeau very much does care about the success and well-being of Jalen Brunson, and because he cares about that, it is likely that he lets his superstar point guard appear in these 3 games so he can, first of all, win Clutch Player of the Year, and on top of that, be an all-NBA guy, get those awards, and because that helps with your money down the line. And Tom Thibodeau is not going to short Jalen Brunson on his money when he's due for an extension years and years from now. As we already know, he's on the bargain extension because Jalen Brunson is just the best, and he's everything you could ask for out of a captain of this team. So Brunson, he's going to play at least tomorrow. He'll play at least 2 of these games, including against the Detroit Pistons. However, Stephen Bondy did reveal that that's not the case for everyone. As Bondy revealed, the Knicks have announced that OG Anunoby with a right thumb sprain and Josh Hart with right knee patellofemoral syndrome, and Mitchell Robinson with the left ankle surgery recovery are all out tomorrow night against the Detroit Pistons. The Pistons and the New York Knicks will likely be facing off in that first round matchup. And now we're seeing 3 different guys go out with injuries. Now, in regards to Josh Hart and OG Anunoby, could these 2 guys play? Absolutely. They could 100% play if they wanted to / needed to. But Tom Thibodeau is going to give them rest. Josh Hart does have that knee tendonitis going on, and on top of that, OG Anunoby has played a lot of minutes, and he's been very, very, very good recently, averaging over 25 points per game over his last 10 games. So OG deserves the rest, Josh Hart deserves the rest, and they've played heavy minutes and played a lot of games this year, so it does make sense to let these guys get the chance to play or to take a rest today, especially considering this is the first game of a back-to-back, and that explains why Mitchell Robinson is out as well, because when you look at Mitchell Robinson, he's not playing back-to-backs this season. There's one more back back-to-back left to go, and that is Thursday against the Pistons, and Friday against the Cleveland Cavaliers. So that's important to note. And when it comes down on Jalen Brunson, there is an update on him as well. And that is, well, first of all, James Edwards saying that the Knicks are trying to do their part to set up a date with Milwaukee because that leaves Jalen Brunson to not be guarded by any elite on-ball defenders. The way the Pistons, they just play better defense than the Bucks. The Bucks have no one to guard Jalen Brunson. The Knicks want to utilize that and get that matchup with Milwaukee. Anunoby, Hart, and Robinson are all out against the Pistons, and the Pistons have to win their final 3 games, the last 2 against Milwaukee, to get that 5 seed. The Knicks also play Cleveland on Friday, where they will rest Jalen Brunson. So Brunson, he's going to get a rest game against the Cleveland Cavaliers on that back-to-back. He's still coming back from that injury. They want to make sure that the stamina is all good to go. They want to make sure his gas tank's good, that all the rust is shaken off, but also not that he's getting overplayed and overutilized and runs himself into the risk of getting injured at the end of the season. So the Knicks are going to take it easy with Jalen Brunson. Have him miss that game against the Cleveland Cavaliers, which they should. I mean, there is a world where the Knicks do end up beating the Celtics, maybe, and I'm not wishing injury on anyone. Maybe the Celtics deal with some injuries or something like that, or the Knicks just manage to beat the Celtics in the second round. Then they would end up playing the Cleveland Cavaliers in the Eastern Conference Finals, and it's better to, not have Jalen Brunson play the final 2 games against Cleveland, so Cleveland is not exactly used to guarding Jalen Brunson yet. Though they do have Dean Wade, who's been a very successful defender on Jalen Brunson in the past, it is still something good for the Knicks to be able to kind of hit him with a surprise factor of Jalen Brunson, something the Cavs are not used to, so that does make some sense as well, on top of the fact that Brunson will get his 65 games, and then everything's all good there. He doesn't need to play that game against the Cavs, and he'll play that final game of the season in Barclays against the Brooklyn Nets. So it makes perfect sense if you ask me. That leaves the reserves. These are the 2 guys. As we go back to the box score against the Celtics, we could see the bench was Deuce McBride and Mitchell Robinson, 2 guys who are certainly going to be getting playoff minutes, significant playoff minutes, mind you. And there's going to be at least one other guy, maybe both these guys, but there's going to be at least one of Cameron Payne or Landry Shamet in that playoff rotation. And fans are pretty split on who they want to see get this role. Right now, with the way the minutes are looking, it looks like it'll be Cameron Payne, but it feels like there's more of an argument for Landry Shamet. Where the Knicks stand right now in the playoff picture, they're going to be the 3 or the 4 seed, and regardless on where they land, they're going to shorten that rotation. They're not going to be playing a team like the Pacers who run as deep, so they'll be playing the Pistons, they'll be playing the Bucks who kind of do a similar thing the Knicks do. Obviously, they give more minutes to bench guys, but not a world's worth of differences, and they're not playing at that obscene pace like the Pacers, which does lead to more guys getting tired faster. So it does make some sense that the Knicks might go with that 8-man roster or 8-man rotation, and Landry Shamet, to me, seems like he should be the guy. I mean, he's shooting 47% from the field and 43% from 3 over his last 10 games. He's really gotten the 3-point shooting down super well. True shooting at 63.8%. Also scoring 9 points per game off the bench in these last 10. So I think the obvious answer is you do go with Landry Shamet. You have him be the guy. You have him go out there and just be your 8th man. I think he fits with the Knicks better. I think it just makes more sense that way because they have Jalen Brunson and Deuce McBride. I think they should move away from having another point guard out there. Brunson's going to play around 38 to 40 minutes a game in the playoffs, and Deuce McBride is going to be playing around 15 to 22, so maybe more. So you look at that, the Knicks are going to be perfectly covered point guard-wise. I know Deuce has been more of a combo guard this season, but still, I think it makes more sense to get that elite shooting through Landry Shamet than getting Cameron Payne on as the point guard. Though it's not clear what Tom Thibodeau is going to do, and we will see in these final games that will have an impact on who he wants to go with here. Shamet's been good as of recently. Cameron Payne's been fine. But looking at them on the season, it has favored Cameron Payne just based off how he's been a rotational guy all year, putting up 7 points per game, 1.5 rebounds, and 3 assists per game, shooting 36% from 3 and 40% from the field. Meanwhile, Landry Shamet is putting up 5 points per game, which is a little less, but when you look at the numbers, especially how slow he started the season, he's really picked it up shooting-wise, shooting 45% from the field and 37% from 3, including 43.4% on corner threes. Shamet's really gotten it together, and I think he's earned that final spot, or at least that 8th man spot, and then you give Cameron Payne some 9th man minutes when you do use a 9th man. Personally, that's what I think the New York Knicks should do. What do you think they should do? Should they rest these guys? Is this a good plan? Should they give Brunson those 2 games so he could get those awards? Should they give him less? Should they give him more? Let me know in the comments down below. Should they rest Karl-Anthony Towns, which I imagine they'll also do against the Cleveland Cavaliers on Friday, along with Jalen Brunson? It's very interesting to see what's going to go down, and I do want to know what you guys think about all this. So let me know in the comments down below. Like this video, subscribe, turn on post notifications. Have a great day, guys, and go Knicks.